So I just went and I was talking to this elder lady, and we had a little conversation. She was talking about, how times was changing, and she's talking about us as a people, as black people, and trying to do more and work more together and stuff. And I can't remember, I had said something, but then her response was, things wasn't as accessible as it was back then. And that's real, Today, in these times, we take for granted, especially the kids, they take it granted for a lot of the stuff that even my generation didn't have. Me growing up, we didn't have cell phones. Not everybody walking around with a cell phone. So it got me on the internet, because I'm on the information. So it's like the internet was like that. They didn't have it back then. They didn't have the access to the information to get the facts and the truth and break stuff down. As well as the astrology. It speaks another story. It wasn't the time, but they didn't have the resources to the information, right? Then the information age and all of that had to come in. So I say that to say, so everything that's personified, that's here that we use as physical, it's all a personification of the spiritual, of the journey. Like the gun, right? It's like you got the leg that's in the bottom of the gun, right? Or how they would say it was like the scrotum in the penis, right? So you got the leg that sit at the bottom, the bullets and all of that that sit at the bottom. That's like they sit on the stone, right? They sit on the stone that's on the bottom. In your bottom, they sit in the most physical area at the bottom, in the lust and the greed and all of that lust stuff. That's where the bullets sit in the gun, right? So then, once pressure is applied and built up, then the bullet is launched out, right? It is loaded first, and all of this is the journey. You think of the soul. It starts at your most lower place, down there in your sacrum, right? And you're supposed to rise it up. That's what it's all about. So it's the same thing. Then when you get to the top, you're talking about the top. Aries is known in the head as the fire, right? So when you get up there and you start uniting these elements, and you unite them and you unite them in heaven, in your head, in Aries, then an explosion takes place, right? And then you'll awaken, and then you see in like the cartouches and in Egypt and all of that, where they would awaken, they would have the snakes pop out of their head, right? But that fire that you got at the end of the gun, when the gun go off, that's the same fire that's in the air. When you learn about Aries, and you get it right with the brain, right? Because it correlates to the cerebrum. So that's your highest point. That's your heaven, the thalamus, right? Your third eye. So when you and they say that the cell salt for that area, or the mineral that replenishes that area, is it's called Kali phosphate, right? And Kali means fire, right? So this fire sits up there in your head. This is what they speak of. This is the fire. So this Kali, without the Kali makes the fire. It generates the fire. It's like the material substance that's needed, right, to make this fire. So it's known to be combustible in a way or whatever, right? So that's the gun. So the internet is the same way. It's the interconnection that we have between one another, right? We all have this telepathy, this connection between one another that we can't connect in right now, because we don't have ourselves risen high enough, and we're so divided, right, that they have it to where it's dang on near impossible for us to come together. So it's the same aspect. If you think of the connection that each and one of us share with each other, no matter the race, the same way that we share it with the plants and animals, It's the same connection that they just recreated on the outside world with the internet. Only difference